Yo, what's good YouTube? This is Zangidio, and today we're going to be talking about how to register your uninstall functions to WordPress and what actions can you add in when you uninstall a plugin that you have created. All right. So basically, when you uninstall a plugin, you might want to clear out some database tables and some options that you have registered. Okay. So just don't confuse this with the deactivation hook that we talked about before. And the deactivation hook compared to the uninstall hook from the WordPress developer resources. Here's the plugin handbook. As you can see, the deactivation hook has flush and cache temp that can be removed and also flush permanent links. So we can clear that from the deactivation hook. However, if you want to remove options from the WordPress database or remove tables from the WordPress database, which makes sense when you uninstall like the gallery plugin that we're going to be using, you want to remove your WordPress database entries. Okay, so as you can see, the uninstall hook supports the removing options from the WordPress database, while the deactivation hook does not. So this is the difference between them. There are two methods that you can do that with. There is the register uninstall hook and the uninstall.php, which basically uses the same thing, but again, it is in another file and it uses a little bit of a different example. I'm not going to be using the uninstall.php. If you want to check that out, for simplicity, we're just going to be using the register uninstall hook. All right. If you want to check out the register uninstall hook, you can just go into the WordPress documentation. As you can see, it takes two parameters, which is a string and a callable function. And that is what we're going to do right now. On the side, I do have an example that I written before, so I do not waste your time. Okay, so I'm just going to Control Z everything, or I can just remove this. Okay. And okay, so basically what we're going to be doing is we're going to be registering a function. Inside that function, we're going to be getting the posts. We're going to be looping over them, right? So register function. So let's do that, right? So function, and I'm just going to call it custom gallery plugin uninstall, right? Inside registering the function, we want to get all the posts of the custom post type, which is gallery image. And this is the one that we registered in the beginning of the tutorials, which, as you can see, it is the naming of the post type is gallery image. All right. And if you want to revise that, you can go and check the video out. All right. So this is the naming for it. So the post type is just going to be gallery image. All right. Let's right now get these posts. And to get these posts, it's pretty actually easy. So we're just going to assign a variable and we're going to call it gallery image. Inside this, we're going to use the get posts function, right? And inside the get posts, we want to assign an array. Okay. Inside that array, we want to get the post type, and the post type is going to be the gallery image that we copied from the top. We want to get the number of posts, which is all the posts, so that's going to be -1. And then the post status, and the post status is basically the status of the post itself, in case if it's like published, draft, whatever status it is, you can just delete that. Right, so as you can see, we got all the posts right now. And if you want to check out also as well, we can loop over each post and then delete it. Okay, so let me just check out if the gallery images are getting. So we're just going to variable dump all the gallery images. All right, let me just remove this comment. Let's go back to our code. Okay, so it's not going to show anything right now. That is fine. Okay, so let's actually try and register the function and see what is going to do. Right, so we can't do the variable dump over here, right, because we're inside the function. We still haven't called that function. Okay, so if I call that function, for example, let's see if this is going to work. So yeah, as you can see, it did work, and it just dumped the gallery itself right in front of you. This is just these example posts that I have over here. So if you want to check out if you're getting the posts or not, just make sure to call the function when you're using the variable dump. Okay, so you just can't call the variable dump right away. Okay, so let me just remove this. And as you can see, we already are getting the gallery images. So right now, let's loop over each post and then delete it, okay? So to loop over each post and then delete it, and comments are pretty good for you, so we could basically remember what you're doing. So loop over the post and then delete it. Okay, so for each, and we're going to be looping over the gallery images that we just got as a gallery image, and then we're just gonna call a WordPress function that's called wpDelete, and we're not deleting a file, we're not deleting a link, we're deleting a post, so we're just gonna call delete post, okay? And the wpDelete post takes two parameters, which is basically just the post ID and force delete. So you can set that out whatever you would like. So first of all, let's just get the gallery image ID. And by the way, before you run this hook that we're just going to do, I made a copy of my plugin because in case you want to delete it and just check out what it does when you uninstall it, just make sure to take a copy of your plugin, okay? So right now we're done with the function. Right now we just want to register the uninstall hook, which we're actually talking about today, okay? So the register uninstall hook is pretty simple, so let me just show that up for you. As you can see, it registers the uninstall hook and it takes two parameters as well, the file and then the callback function. So we already have the callback function. This is the custom gallery plugin uninstall function, and the file is just the file variable that we talked about in the previous video of how to determine your plugin directories. Right, so file, and then add in just between a string or between quotation marks, custom plugin custom gallery plugin uninstall, which is basically just the callback name function. Okay, now let's go and just make sure to delete your uninstall.php because it's going to override this function if it's called in the uninstall.php. So I had my uninstall.php empty, so it did not work. It did not delete the post for me. Okay, so I'm just going to go into my gallery right now, and as you can see, I have a post. I just called it something unique, so in order for me to identify it in the WordPress database. Okay, so let's go and uninstall it right now. Go to plugins and then go into custom gallery plugin, deactivate it, and just make sure to have a backup of it and then delete. Okay, so I'm just gonna delete it, and you might have some troubleshooting issues. That is fine, just refresh the page after it's done. Again, like I said, just make sure to remove the uninstall.php because it will be overriding the single gallery plugin in terms of the uninstall function. Okay, so just make sure, delete it, and just give it a second. And right now, I'm just gonna basically clone the repo just to check out if the post type has been deleted. And the post type is basically, and as you can see, it's saying could not fully remove the plugin, so we can just refresh the page. That is fine. Okay, and then just to make sure that the post itself has been deleted, I'm just going to go into phpMyAdmin, so localhost and then phpMyAdmin, and then I'm just going to go into my wp underscore database, and then we're just going to go into wp posts, right, where are the custom post types recorded or registered, and then we'll just sort by key the post name and just search for something unique or search for unique. Okay, so right now we want to make sure that this is not actually displayed because we're doing an uninstall function. As you can see, unique is not showing us anything, neither something unique. So that means that the post has been deleted. Okay, so this is the first check that you want to check when you add in your uninstall hook, if basically the WordPress post itself is deleted or your WordPress query has been deleted, okay, from the database. Another way you can do this is basically by just cloning the plugin, right, and just reinstalling it. So that is what I'm going to do right now. I'm just going to open up my VS Code, and I'm just going to delete the old file. As you can see, the old folder does not have anything in it. I'm just going to go into my local disk C, XAMPP, htdocs, WordPress, WP content, and then plugins. custom gallery WordPress plugin. I'm just gonna delete it because it's already empty. I only have my Git file over here. I'm gonna right click open with code, and I'm just going to open up the terminal, get the link for the plugin. So you can just copy your plugin at the desktop or wherever you would like. And I'm just going to basically clone the repository again so I can see if we reinstall it, if basically the post type is still there or not. Okay, so let me just reinstall it. So as you can see right now, if I refresh the page, it's gonna be there. So I'm just gonna activate it, and if I go into the gallery right now, there should be no posts. So as you can see, there has no posts found. So that is pretty much it. This is how you register on uninstall hook. And as I mentioned, just make sure to not have an uninstall.php and a single gallery file or a single plugin file, which have to register uninstall hooks, because the uninstall.php will override it. So in my example, I just use the register uninstall hook in the custom gallery plugin single page file, right? So that is pretty much it for today's video, guys. I'll see you guys in the next video. Comment and like and subscribe, and tell me what you think about this video. All right, this was Angry Edu, and peace, you guys.